What up, y'all? Welcome to the Blazin Trail podcast. I am your host, Tud Kylach, a.k.a. K1. This podcast is all about giving the listeners a certain mindset and a perspective that will allow the listeners to have the right tools in their toolkit so they can start blazing their own path. It's Season 2, Episode 1. And we have partnered with KZUM 89.3 radio station. Their mission is to educate, build community through broadcast media, and that's what we're doing here today. So we need everyone first to follow our YouTube channel, King Tut, K1NGTUT. Follow us on Instagram at Blazin Trail Podcast. But today, guys, we are joined by a group of heavy hitters, some mentors here in Lincoln, and they're definitely going to spread out. I have a feeling. They have gone out of their own way to develop youth to their full potential, not just as athletes, but as competent human beings. So guest number one is an entrepreneur, the founder and CEO of COG, which stands for City of Guards, and the training. VRLY director? Basketball director. He's a father, a straight hooper, a college grad, a big brother, girls coach at LHS, Go Lynx, and many other things that we'll find out today. Guest number two is a new friend of mine who is also an entrepreneur, the founder and CEO of VRLY, a real estate tech innovator, an internet personality, a veteran, and much more. Trailblazers out there, please help me welcome Tommy Johnson and Tyler Irons to the podcast. Yeah, so thank you fellas for coming out.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, for sure.
So we're gonna have like a casual conversation. It's nothing too serious. We just want to give the mindset of what led you guys here. So Tommy, I'm glad to see the man that you've become today, and I'm glad to see you grow. And also Tyler, I'm highly impressed. We were talking about it earlier, but with your website, and I was like, wait, this dude's been doing all this stuff, and now I get to see his face since my brother went into his program. But it's good to see you guys, and congratulations on Champions Fun Center. We'll touch on that later. So fellas, this podcast is truly about helping people get off the fence and getting them to take a leap of faith. So most of us humans learn by doing. So a lot of our generation is stuck in analysis paralysis. I'm sure you guys know. So what we'll be doing is talking about how you guys managed to take that leap of faith and trying all these different avenues, jobs, career choices to get where you are now as Trailblazers. So, Tommy, tell us a little bit about your childhood. So, first off, where were you born? Shout out. Yeah. So, tell us a little bit about your childhood, like a brief, because a lot of people don't know that. Just touch on the points that you want to touch about.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I come from a big family. I got 5 sisters. I grew up with 3 of them. Mm-hmm. And then I got 2 brothers.
Shout out.
And we're pretty known for being a basketball family.
Yes, they helped me get into playing basketball. So
yeah, so we've been playing basketball since I could remember. Yeah. And just Northside Lincoln, literally 5 blocks from here.
Yes.
So I used to walk past this building all the time.
I didn't even know what it was.
Yeah, I used to walk past there all the time. So, and then, I was born here.
Was you know a hooper? Was Pops a hooper?
My dad?
Yeah.
No, my dad was not a hooper.
He knows, he has the IQ for it, but I don't even know if he played or not.
No, my dad was more of a break the cycle, the change type parent. He grew up in a real tough environment. Yeah. So he was more of do as I say, not as I do. So I seen a lot of wrong in my life. Mm-hmm. So, but I always was told to do the right thing.
Exactly.
So that was big, and that was the culture my dad grew up in.
Yeah, so. I love that. Yeah. So Tyler, where were you born?
I'm from Lincoln, Nebraska too. So
homegrown.
Yeah.
So tell us about your childhood.
Yep. So I grew up. I've got 2 older sisters, 1 little brother. My dad's an entrepreneur. Mm-hmm. My mom was a stay-at-home mom. We grew up not playing basketball or sports. We did horseback riding, things like that.
Rural kind of living.
Yeah, so we did English. We did show jumping, things like that. We traveled a lot for that. My dad, again, was an entrepreneur, so I learned a lot about business through him naturally. Just he always had us with him wherever he went. You know, kind of like if you'll see Tommy.
Yeah.
He's always got, you know, kids with him. Yep.
Yeah.
Which is how you learn. You know, by being around those environments, things like that. So I was always that kid that was at the meeting table with my dad and learning and asking questions and things like that. So I just had a accelerated education, you know, from having that relationship.
What kind of kids were you guys? Were you guys like a troublemaker? Were you guys studious? How would you guys describe yourself?
Yeah. So me personally, I was hard-headed.
Yeah.
I was always, you know, in trouble. Typically, not like big trouble, but just I had my own opinions and I wanted to do my own thing.
Rebel.
So if you disagreed with it or wanted me to do something different, it was going to be a battle. So, you know, we fought a lot on that. Traditional education was really not my cup of tea. You know, I'm an audible learner, so I was put in an environment where you know that's not the featured learning style in most schools. So school was hard. So and typically what you see in like traditional education is you'll get labeled real quick. So I remember going into like school meetings and things like that, and they would be, like tell my dad like, "Hey, Tyler's dumb." You know, like not necessarily those words, but Tyler's like, well, and my dad would be like, well, Tyler's not dumb. Like, he may learn different.
Exactly.
He's definitely not dumb. So, you know, but he was always there to advocate for me when I was young. So that had a big impact on me as well. So I learned that I liked to learn, but I like to learn what I'm interested in, obviously, like most people, and then in the style that I retain information.
I love it. Right. Tommy, what kind of kid were you, bro?
Man, you know, I was really quiet.
Yes, you were.
I was super quiet, so I was a kid of a few words.
You were an action kid.
Yeah, definitely. And I just was like into books. I was into the schooling. I was into, you know, going to college and wanting to play basketball at the next level. So I was a student athlete all
literally through your whole grade school years.
Yeah.
And all.
Yeah, even in college. And yeah, I was really quiet though. Like,
you were.
Like
that's why I'm like, is Tommy mad? Because usually when somebody's mad, they're either quiet or they go crazy. Sometimes I'm like, okay, Tommy, I know he's upset, but he's not saying anything, so I'm kind of scared.
Right. It took a lot to. It took the right crowd of my friends
to bring you out,
to bring my funness out and who I am at home.
Exactly.
Type can you work with my kid or whatever? Because they saw these girls like competing, playing against boys, like going to tournaments and playing against boys and placing and all that.
Exactly.
So they're just like, what are you doing to these kids? So in October, like 2019, I was like, I'm gonna just do a camp. I'm gonna just make a camp.
What was your first one?
It was at Trinity Lutheran.
I'm gonna try and grab the cover art and I'll put it up there. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it was at Trinity Lutheran, and I had like 50 kids come out for like a hour and a half camp. I was like, okay. Yeah. And it was like 50 like brand new kids, like never
seen, or
like,
they've never played basketball.
Like some of them played, but like never worked with them. Never. Yeah. I was like, okay, cool. That's 50 kids. And I had a lot of fun doing that. And so I did another camp and the following month in November. And the next thing you know, like Lincoln High was like, yo, come coach. And so I had to put it on hold. And then
for a little bit.
Yeah, put it on hold. And then right after putting it on hold, after the season got over, COVID hit. So I couldn't even do nothing.
Oh, then that's when you started doing the virtual.
Yep, that's when I started. That's when I really was like, I can do something with City of Guards.
Yeah.
And I'm not a good worker anyways. Like employee, like I've never been a good employee. Like never. Like so.
You just like to do your own thing.
Yeah, like literally like where I worked at, like every place I worked, I just like did the bare minimum. Like
I'm getting my check regardless.
It's just like my body was there. That was it. Like, so I hate working for people. So I did it before all that. I was cleaning houses, bro. I had a cleaning company. Yeah.
Yo. Oh,
Yeah.
my God. Now I remember that.
Yeah, I did a cleaning company. I was selling Indian tacos. I was,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, bro. I was not working for no one. Like,
I'll do whatever. I just won't work for anyone.
yeah, exactly. So, but City of Guards took off with the whole Zoom and all that. And so,
What made you think of the name?
there's some people that inspire me all the way from New York. Like Lil Javis was on circuits and stuff.
Oh, shout out Javis, little guy working.
Javis was on circuits in like Baltimore and all that. So, and there's this kid there that was like saying City of Guards. Like he was like the top guy. And I was like, that name kind of like.
Yeah, I like that.
I like that name. So that's how I came about City of Guards.
Man, that's what's up, man. Okay, Tyler. So, what were some ways that you raised capital, or did you just save your money with your brother?
No, we definitely. So like my first business, I had to raise capital.
Yeah.
Then when we got to digital marketing, we actually had our own capital put into it. But I mean, we reached out to friends. Like my first business, I reached out to friends and family, and was able to find the capital. In other businesses, obviously, I've had partners and things where I've had to bring on partners for capital.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's endless ways to go out and snag capital, and it's actually a lot easier than people would think.
Yeah, please tell us some tips, because we want to raise capital too.
Yeah, I mean, really, what people want to see is, they're not. Like most business plans are pretty straightforward. Like the business is probably pretty straightforward, and most people focus too much on like, getting the business plan just right. But it's more about the jockey than the horse, right? So it's like, what are you doing? Are you right? Is your mind right to run a business, to run a corporation? Are you getting yourself ready to level up, to constantly learn, to invest in yourself? Because that's what's going to really propel the company forward.
That makes sense.
So I think that's one of the biggest things people have a misconception about, is they're like, it's all about the business. But the business will be as successful as you are, or as you want to make it.
I love that.
And that's really what entrepreneurship is. You're betting on yourself.
Exactly.
Not anything else.
It's like a personal brand. Question for you both. When in your journey did you guys start having doubts about your business, or did you not have any doubts?
No, I think there's always, giving up is easy, right? So there's always opportunities to give up. There's always opportunities to quit.
Yep.
But that's what makes you an entrepreneur. Is you don't. You have to be the eternal optimist for the company. I mean, you gotta let losses go. You gotta let the wins hit your team.
Exactly.
And just be that eternal optimist. So you're always pushing forward and moving the company forward. It's not you're an eternal problem solver. You're always gonna get the shit. So what's the biggest problem in the company today? That's your problem.
Exactly.
And you
gotta
own
put the
it.
fire out.
Right. So you're gonna want to give up. You're gonna have bad days. You're gonna have long days. But you're going to have those days no matter what you're doing.
Yes.
So being an employee, you're gonna have bad days. You're gonna have other things where you don't have control. You can't go fix things. So I think it's just all about the mindset you show up with. So I mean, if you have the mindset of like, I would rather have a problem that I can fix and take extreme ownership, rather than have a problem that is someone else's problem and I'm just living in their world. So.
What about you, Tommy? Did you have any doubts about your journey, especially starting out with COG?
Yeah, for sure.
COVID, especially.
Yeah. I like that I have doubts.
Yes.
I like that I fail. I fear failure a little bit, because it just makes me create action like daily. So like that's one thing. Like when I started like meeting with Tyler, like once I started meeting with Tyler, it was just like he just showed me like actions that I never knew to take.
Exactly.
Like I never knew certain moves or how to maneuver in certain ways. And so I love that I wake up kind of scared, or kind of real uncomfortable, because I'm gonna have action, and I'm gonna figure out a way to make something happen that day.
Love that.
So
okay, so now let's talk about your new home for is it gonna be, what's the building called? What is it gonna be called?
Yeah, we're gonna call it CLUB LNK.
LNK, CLUB LNK. So they just bought out the lot that was Champions Fun Center, correct?
Right.
Man, how long have y'all had eyes on that, or did that just spring up?
Yeah, that happened really fast. So
like everything else.
right. Yeah, it was just my best friend is a commercial real estate agent, so kind of brought it to my attention. We went and looked at it. It was the building's obviously in great shape.
Yeah.
It was really well taken care of, and then it just started a dialogue. And Champions Fun Center was, and this is what a lot of people don't understand, is it was a viable business, it's a good business.
Yes.
So they didn't have to close down. They were planning on opening back up in the spring. They just were ready to kind of be done with that part of their life and move on to the next, their next chapter. So they really are entrusting us to take their legacy that they've created the last 20 years and then, build on top of that.
That's what's up.
So that's really important for us to do, because they could have just opened up in the spring and not had to sell the building. I mean, they don't have to do anything, but they did, and that's something that they've kind of entrusted us with.
Man, so what do you guys plan as amenities in there? What do you guys have planned? Because I'm sure, I don't know if you guys have written out the blueprint of where everything's going to be. Like, what do you guys want to be in Club Lincoln?
Yep. So it's going to be very similar to the Champions model that it was before, and we're just going to add to it. So we're going to add in the bowling will leave. So there's a bowling alley that'll leave, and that will go be turned into a basketball court, and that's where we'll do our basketball stuff. So we'll have 4 half courts, full court, and two mini courts.
Oh, that's dope.
VRLY COG.
Yep. Right. Yep. So we'll run the organization for the basketball out of that side. We'll add in some turf over there as well, back where the actual bowling machines were.
Do some training or whatever.
Speed, agility, things like that.
That's so dope.
We'll be adding skating to the go-kart track. We're going to try to add in some, inline skating, probably scooter, skateboard, whatever, and then kind of interchange that with the go-karts. And
I was going to say, if y'all selling a go-kart, I'll buy one. I don't even know where I'm going to ride it.
Yeah, so we are keeping the go-karts. The putt-putt has this really cool waterway in it with some waterfalls and stuff, and we're actually going to finish that off into more of kind of like a wading pool area where you can just chill in the water with your friends and stuff. You won't be like crazy swimming, but they are fairly deep, and but there's waterfalls. It's cool.
Yeah. That's so dope.
It'll be more resort style.
When do you guys think you're going to have this all finished?
So
2023?
No. It'll go much faster than that.
Yeah, I was like,
So we'll move really quick. So the basketball will be phase 1. That'll be the first thing we do. That's what really should be about 60-day build out for the basketball courts to be done and put in. We can also simultaneously work on the waterways. So those are kind of like our phase 1 projects. And then we're adding esports to the old party room upstairs. So that'll be like esports, like e-gaming. So you'll be able to go in and game off of just tons of
That's so dope.
Yeah, so it should be like the first kind of real esports place in Lincoln where you can have tons of gamers in one room.
I was going to say tournaments maybe?
Oh yeah, huge tournaments, I'm sure.
This is literally, I've never heard of anything like this. This is going to be dope.
Yeah, it should be a huge game changer and just trying to get kids in. Have a safe, fun place where they can hang out, and because that's all they want to do is hang out with each other. So it's you go hang out on the streets, or you just come in and hang out where you have all the amenities you want. You have go-karts, you have music. We'll have teen nights, so we'll always have great music, parties, and stuff like that. Yeah. Concession stands are there, so should have a little bit of everything for everybody.
What is the target age range that you guys want in the club?
Yeah, 8 to 18 is kind of our target range. We'll probably have some hours where some younger kids can come in.
Yeah.
Especially if we have basketball going on, because I have siblings and stuff like that who will want to run to the activity center and play video games.
We got that big maze, so I'm assuming that maze can be utilized for a lot littler kids as well.
So is this nonprofit or is this?
This is for profit.
Oh,
yep.
Yeah. There is a lot of amenities.
Yeah, so. Just because it's for profit doesn't mean we can't be impactful. It doesn't mean we can't give. We can't, reach other demographics. But as a company, as a business, I'm not a huge nonprofit fan.
Yeah,
I like for-profit businesses because the market should decide if you should be open or closed. So I prefer that model. But you can still tap into other resources that can reach all sorts of demographics.
I like that, man. So what are in the next 5 years, what do you guys hope for Club Lincoln? Because the Sun Valley Lanes is opening up. they're
huge expansion on there.
yeah.
So,
It's
and
cool.
then also round one. But I feel like this is gonna be more of like a chill spot where the homies all go hang out. Hey, bro, you want to go bowl? All right, cool. Let's just go downstairs. Right. Yo, you want to? You talking smack about 2K? Let's go upstairs. Like, it's literally gonna be such a cool hangout spot because a lot of the times when we would practice with with Angelo, it's like they were also our babysitter in a sense too. So this could be a spot where all kids can obviously be supervised, but kids just being kids, being in a controlled situation. That's what I really like about that.
Yep. Yeah, and it's for kids.
Yeah.
You're not the nuisance. Because a lot of times if you go to those places like round one, there's adults, there's little kids. Like, you can't get too. It's just a very big variable of who's there, who's showing up. This will be like this is our people from our club.
Exactly.
We know them. The people who work here know your name. Like, it's just much more of a family environment where it's controlled and we all know each other, and you're not seen as that nuisance. You can go run, you can go do whatever you want.
I love it.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna pivot. Tommy, how has an entrepreneur affected your family life, and social life?
Family life. My girl.
Shout out to you.
Yeah, my girl. She thinks I'm on my phone a lot. She really does. She thinks I'm on my phone a lot. She thinks I'm up too late sometimes.
Yeah.
But one thing it did, it shifted her mindset as well to be a part of the process.
Exactly.
So whenever there's something going on, she's there, and my kids are there.
Exactly.
Like, my kids here now.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
And so, it shifted the whole mindset. She attends our weekly business meetings, and so we can go home and we can have discussions.
Exactly. It's all included.
About legacies and discussions about where we want to take our next generation.
That's
so it's definitely helped us like tremendously to be more of that, like that, what they would call a power couple.
Exactly.
So for real, shout out to her for
for real. She holding it down.
Yeah, Michaela.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, for sure. That, and then my family as a whole, like Tyler sees it. Like when there's me, there's my dad, my sister Shaquila, even my sister Shaquila, huge contributor, and just for like her, she coaches at Northeast and like being around.
That's what's up.
And then Michi.
Michi.
Everyone knows Michi.
Yeah, he crossed you up. He can teach you a couple of things.
All you gotta do is go to any park and be like, Michi. They're gonna be like,
he gave me a couple buckets.
Yeah, you no one's messing with Michi.
No.
And Michi is another huge contributor as well. He makes COG go. Like he's the one that's like really like innovating about City of Guards and what he wants to do with it.
I love it.
And me, I'm like, cool, because I don't want a lifestyle business. Like at some point, I don't want to be here training. Like I'm not a basketball trainer.
Yeah.
Like I'm not really a basketball coach.
Yeah.
And some people can't see through that because they just see me doing a basketball trainer and see me as a basketball coach. But I'm like,
that's just what you're doing.
I'm feeling like I'm bigger than that.
Exactly.
Like,
this is like the foundation of what propelled you to other things.
Yeah.
He's
So
building out seats
Exactly.
of what will be filled by other people in the future, so he can level up and do what he needs to do.
Yeah, because there's someone there is other me's around that I can put in that seat. So, but like my dad's around consistently a lot more, and so my family just like it brought us together like even more.
Yeah. What about you, Tyler? How has being an entrepreneur affected your family life and social life? Wait, who's your wife again? Or girlfriend?
Or none, because sometimes that happens. So, and sometimes you make sacrifices. So I'm single, but very. I've chosen to, being an entrepreneur has allowed me a few things. One, has allowed me to control my time.
Yeah.
Which has been the biggest gift for me.
Yes.
Because I have a daughter who's 12. So whenever she calls, I can go. Whenever she has an event, I'm there. Like, I don't have to miss anything. But on the other side of that, that also means as an entrepreneur, you're the end all be all. So if I went to that basketball game and it got over at 8 and there's still work to be done, I might go back to the office and work from 8 till the next day and work through the next day and never sleep. So that's a reality of my life too.
Yeah.
But you get to pick what your priorities are. You get to pick where your time goes, and it allows you to create those opportunities to actually go out and control your environment. So that's been probably the biggest gift for me is controlling my time, and then just pursue my goals, my passions. Once you get to a certain level, like Tommy's at a place where he's building seats out still, and then he's going to level up. I've built a lot of my seats out already because we're 6 years, 5 years into whatever it is, and so I don't have to do the things I don't like anymore. I have a big enough infrastructure. We're at 40 plus employees, so if I don't like doing something, I don't do it. I literally give it to someone else, and I get to focus on just what I love, what my strengths are. And when you work towards your strengths all day, every day, it's a very empowering feeling.
Yes. Because
it just changes your energy, your motivation to get up and work. And like, if I start working on something I don't like, immediately I'm like, I'll be tired, I'll be worn out, which I'm never tired or worn out. So I'm just like, whoa, what's going on? Like, I must not like this. Like, something's weird. I'm gonna stop doing this. Like, but yeah, it's a very different feeling, and until you experience it, it's hard to describe.
Yeah. How would you guys? What key activities would you guys recommend to like entrepreneurs on their spare time?
Podcasts. Listen to podcasts. Read books.
Yes.
Like, learn, get knowledge, and so many people. The people you look up to typically are giving out free information.
Free game.
Like, they're telling you what to do or how to do it, like, or what they did. And then you need to get that information, but then more importantly, you need to take that information and apply it to your life in real time. Like, that's the greatest advantage we have in our generation is the access to information.
Yes.
Where like our parents couldn't do a lot of the things we could do because they didn't have the internet. They didn't have access to information as easily as we did. So like, you have no excuse. If you want to do something, the only reason it's not being done is because of you.
Shout out Casey. It's always you're your greatest enemy or your greatest ally. It's up to you.
Yeah. If you think you can or if you think you can't, you're right. That's it.
So true. What do you think, Tommy? What are some key activities?
Yeah, I definitely. Tyler put me on the podcast because I don't like reading.
Yeah. Audible.
Yeah, I don't read either. Just so everybody knows, I listen to audiobooks. I say read or I read a book.
Yeah.
I meant I listened to it.
Yeah. So I like podcasts a lot.
Yeah.
Podcasts are one of my favorite things to listen to. I like sometimes I just like picking like them certain people I really, really enjoy.
Yep.
He put me on Gary V too.
Yeah, shout out Gary V.
I love Gary V because he talks, the way he talks is just so like.
It's relatable.
Yeah.
And it's like when I first heard him, I was like, wait, he's like talking to me like a big brother. It's
right.
Like, just fucking work.
Yeah.
Like,
and then,
he's right.
And then I love music.
Yep. Give me a top 3 right now. It doesn't have to be on time. Top 3.
J. Cole.
Yep.
Jay-Z.
Yep.
And that third one's always tough for me, but I'll probably go Nas.
I love it. What about you, Tyler?
For music?
Yeah.
I don't listen to music. I just
More podcasts, if anything.
Yeah, I love podcasts. So obviously, like, I'm really into real estate podcasts because that's our niche.
Yeah.
So just listen to the top real estate podcasts. There's like the team building podcast with Jeff Cohn's a really big one for me. Obviously, I like Gary V. I like I listen to all sorts of podcasts.
Same.
Switch it up. Books. I try to hit my favorite books all the time. Like The One Thing. It's been really important to me as an entrepreneur because most entrepreneurs can see money.
Yeah.
So they get distracted very easily with different opportunities.
Exactly.
And they don't focus on scaling their one thing.
Yeah.
And being true to that core business and it stops them from being as great as they could be. So I read that one like 4 times a year.
Hell yeah. Tommy, what motivates you?
What motivates me?
What motivates you?
What motivates me is seeing the real impact I can have.
Ooh,
like
love it.
Seeing the real impact I can have, like for real. That's what motivates me. certain kids and certain parents, and they just come up to me and like they tell me like how much they appreciate me. And one thing I'm learning though is that I'm starting to not like feedback, whether
whether good or bad.
Whether good or bad, I'm starting to learn how to ignore that.
Exactly.
Because at the end of the day, I start to ignore that, but I know I can have a huge impact.
Yeah.
Not only just on my family, but just as and
community.
Lincoln as a whole. I think what we're doing, and especially with CLUB LNK, is going to be monumental, crazy.
Yes, I totally agree. I can't wait to see it come to fruition. What about you, Tyler? What motivates you?
Yeah, I very similar to Tommy, like the impact, creating a vessel where I can help people level up, just helping people learn to learn around me. You know, once you see what like a business can actually be used for, it's fun, and you know you start to see your employees grow, and then you start to see your employees' families grow, and you start to see your community grow, and you start to see all these opportunities where you can make these massive impacts and change generations and change generational thinking and help people realize things that they've never crossed their mind. You know, like wealth creation, generational wealth creation.
Yes.
Building their legacies, understanding how important like the things they say are, how important how they make people feel are, and creating like cultures is just it's an amazing feeling. So once you're mindful of that and you start to do that, it's another world that you live in.
Now it's like a multiplier once that happens.
Yep.
I believe. So, what qualities do you guys value in people with whom you spend time with?
Yeah. So for me, I want them to be living purpose-driven lives. I want them to be impactful. I want them to be disruptive of traditional thinking, traditional models, challenging the status quo.
Yeah.
So, and you're the most like the 5 people you hang out with the most,
Facts.
right? So it's just the reality of it. So I've tried to surround myself with high-level entrepreneurs who are pushing and are thinking on a scalable level and an impactful level, and on the other side are creating vessels of helping the people within their organizations achieve their dreams and goals.
Exactly. It's beautiful.
Yeah, one thing about me that's hard for me is like a lot of the people I'm around come from the same environment I grew up in, so their mindsets are blocked. They're
very much so.
Very blocked. So it's hard for me to be relatable to certain people.
Yeah.
There's certain people I can feed them knowledge and see it, and it's almost like I have to have my hand on their back
the whole time
to make them actually create that action.
Yeah.
So like me right now, I literally kind of just have one person right here, and it's Tyler who really like levels me up to another level. So I only hang out with Tyler once a week, and
it's already impactful.
And that hour and a half I'm there in front of him, super impactful.
Yeah.
Like Tyler was like, you need to just get it here and just come here every day. Like imagine how much you can expedite the process.
Facts.
And I'm like, yeah, that's true.
Right.
Like for real. But like me right now, I'm like the moves I'm making is slowly breaking the wall that's in their brain.
It's been built up,
so
for long years.
So yeah, that's really what it is. It's hard for me to look. If I look left on one side of my family, you know, I got like everything my dad said was gonna happen, like in prison, and for life for murder, armed robberies and different things like that. Then I look to the other side of my family, and it's like drug abuse, alcohol, and so it's hard for me to like go left and right. But at the end of the day, like they know me, like they know, and they appreciate me. They don't think I'm better than them or anything like that. And but it's just hard for me to look left and right. And I have some little nephews growing up, and they like 19, 20, so it's really hard for them to understand. And then it's just like, I've been preaching this to you for a long time.
I've been trying to tell you, bro.
For a long time, so it's hard for me to figure out like what qualities I want in people around me. So like right now, I really just like, I hang out with Tyler and my girl.
Yeah, that's it.
And then, you know, Michi, Shaquila, and my dad. My circle is really tight. So.
Okay. Beautiful. Give me bullet points for your daily routine. Tyler, we'll start with you. Okay, hold on. Before we start that, sorry, Tyler. We'll be right back. Okay, cool. We only got a couple of things. So, Tyler, as you were saying before I cut you off, what is your daily routine? Give me some bullet points.
Yeah, so I think one of the biggest things is consistency.
Facts.
So I try to be consistent on what I do. Daily routine, typically I'm in the office by 4:30. I try to get the majority.
4:30 what?
A.M.
Y'all hear that? 4:30. All right.
4:30, yeah. So I try to get the majority of my personal tasks, like my biggest tasks, off the list before 9 a.m. 9 a.m. is when most of my staff starts to come in, gets online. So we have a staff that's working 24/7. But in my particular office, my staff comes in at 9 a.m. So try to get all that out of the way before my customers are in, the clients are calling, everything pops off for the day.
The fires.
Right, yep. And then I most of my days are packed with meetings, calls. I mean, as you can imagine, team meetings, there's just an endless list of things to do. And then, so just kind of going through that all day. After 5 o'clock, I typically get off. Not get off, I go eat. I try to eat at 5.
Yeah.
I do intermittent fasting, so I don't eat. I just get very lethargic when I eat too much. So I just know your body type and like when you should eat, things like that.
Portion sizes.
That's portion control is the biggest thing I think anybody can do. So I just, I eat, I drink water and coffee throughout the day. I don't drink pop, things like that. But then I go eat, go see my daughter, whatever we're doing, do those activities, and then, I try to be in bed by 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, and then go again the next day. But if I have work to do, sometimes I'll finish that work up too. Yep.
You ever pull all-nighters?
Oh, yeah. All the time.
So my body won't allow.
There's a lot of times where like I will work through, I'll go back in at 8 or 9 and I just work through. And that's just the reality of it sometimes. And so have you guys ever heard of the study they did with rats?
No.
Right?
Please tell us.
I think it was a Harvard study where they took these rats and they put them in water, and then they would let them like begin to drown, and then they just pull them out right at the end before they drown, and they could swim for about like 15 minutes, okay, before they start to drown, and like they were done. Yeah. But then they would pull them out, and then they would let them rest for a second, and then they'd fill the cup back up and put them back in. So how long do you think that rat could swim out on that second try?
More. Longer.
Give me a number. Like
25 minutes.
60 hours, because there was hope. So they just.
So what? That taste.
Yeah. So what our mindset does and our ability, like what we think we can do or what we've been told we can do, those can be challenged. And people are always like, "Well, that's not healthy for you to." It's like, okay, I get it, but like sometimes maybe it is. Like I don't know. Like I'm gonna challenge it just because I get things done.
Exactly.
And so I've been able to move and be impactful. So it's like, it's just a perspective, It's somebody's got to challenge the status quo.
Love it. Yep. Disruptor.
Right.
What is your daily routine?
I definitely don't get up at 4:30. Yet. But I like before I go to bed, I do a to-do list, and then in the morning, and right in the morning, it's don't do a to-do list if you ain't gonna scratch nothing off.
Yeah, that is very true.
But learn to do a to-do list. Like having a list is the most important thing anybody can do for any task, any like lifestyle thing. It's huge.
Yeah, that was actually the first lesson Tyler taught me. Like do a to-do list. I was like, okay, bet. And then, but the to-do list for sure was like the biggest thing. So I do a to-do list, and then I just some days there's like 40 on the list. and then I'm scratching at least 20 of them off. Like I start the ones that I know for sure I can get to, and I'll scratch them off. It can be to little as just make a phone call. Like it's crazy how some people won't make a phone call. Like
it won't take long.
Yeah, it don't take long, and it's like I just do a to-do list right away, and I'll just start scratching everything off. Another thing I do, I got kids, so I have to spend a little quality time, even if it's just like 15 minutes, just like playing a game with her. Just to get her in the right mood, because like she's about to be going everywhere daddy's going for the day. So I get her going, and then my son, got to get him from school. And then, but yeah, main thing I think to focus on is like just a to-do list. To-do list is huge.
I'm definitely gonna start doing that before I go to sleep. I think that's a good idea.
It should be a living document too. I mean, like it really should be. There's now with so much software out there, like your to-do list should be a living document. It should be transparent. Anybody in your organization should know what's on your list, so there's accountability. And I mean, to-do list is going to be the biggest impactful thing, because then it's your tasks are staring you in the face.
3 things we should know about you that we did not touch on.
That's a good question.
3 things about me.
Tommy's going first. 3 things to know. That's a good question. Yeah. So.
All right, 1 for me. I'm from the Omaha tribe. I'm from the Omaha tribe.
Love it.
I think that's huge for me to say. Just because there's not many Native American leaders around. I can't really look up and be like, who's a Native leader?
That's very true.
So, that's the first thing I would like to say.
I'm an introvert unless I'm talking about my work. So like I don't like small talk. I don't like I'm not the guy that's gonna come up and like the weather, it's just not my personality type. I'm a super introvert, very passionate about work. So I can, if it's about work or it's like challenging conversation, I like those. But other than that, like I'm super introvert. So if I walk by you on the street and I don't say anything, I'm an introvert. I'm not gonna just be like the what's up. Like at a party, I'll like watch people. I'm a listener. So.
I like that. Okay, what genre of music can we find in your playlist right now? You got to tell me something, Tyler, but go ahead. Tyler.
Rap, conscious rap.
Conscious rap.
Yeah, a lot of that.
Lupe, Ken. Give me some.
Lupe's huge.
Yeah.
Lupe, J. Cole, Kendrick is just like hand in hand with J. Cole. I don't know why. I don't know why.
I feel bad for not saying either their names after one another.
Yeah, and then I love like a little bit old school rap, like Wu-Tang. It just kind of shows that like, the world is moving in circles. So from generation to generation, it's the same thing. It's just we just getting a little bit more like, woke to it with everything going on. So
thank God for the internet.
But yeah, it's just I love throwing on old rap too.
Love it. What about you, Tyler?
Just a mixture probably between hip hop, pop, rap. I mean,
like the radio.
If it's on the radio, it's probably on.
Okay, it's time for some rapid fire questions. All right, we're gonna start with Tyler, then Tommy. Tyler, Tommy. All right.
Perfect.
What is something that people get wrong about you?
That I think people think I'm very. I can be very hard or cold but I'm direct. I'm very direct.
Yes.
But I think one thing that they don't understand is like my core driver is people's best interest.
Yes.
And when I'm direct, sometimes I'm asking the why so I can understand like how people think
okay.
But I'm doing it at a faster pace because I have so much going on in a day. So I'm like, why did you do that? Why? And I ask why. They're like, oh, he's being a dick. But I'm just trying to understand how you think so I can understand how you're going to be decisive and make decisions in the future.
Next time, yeah. What about you, Tommy?
People think I'm very laid back.
Yeah.
Which I can be.
It's just the way you talk, bro. That's it.
Yeah, people think I'm really laid back, but I'm really not.
No.
Like sometimes, like in the right situations, in the right environments, I'm that dude that brings the energy to especially like my family and things like that. So
I love it. What age do you want to retire?
I don't ever want to retire.
Good question. Go ahead.
I think I can keep going.
Yeah.
Keep going and going.
Kobe or LeBron?
Kobe.
Kobe. Yeah. You already know that. You took my number.
It's so true. Would you ever want to live forever, Tyler?
Live forever.
Yeah.
I would.
It goes kind of hand in hand with that one question. What age?
Yeah, I would be open to it. I feel like I can get a lot done, so not against it.
Yeah. What about you, Tom?
That's a scary question.
Yeah, bro.
Can I skip it?
Yeah.
I'll skip it. I'll skip that one.
What is a sport you wish you were good at? Maybe you've never tried or you've tried. What sport that you would want to be good at?
Basketball. I'm the world's worst basketball player. I quit in 3rd grade.
What about you, Tom?
Baseball.
Baseball.
Yeah, baseball.
What does a person need to be happy?
The right mindset.
Love it.
Yeah. I think they just need to know what really makes them happy.
Facts.
Yeah.
What is the most important advice that you will give to your adolescent children as they get older?
Mine would be to use happiness as your compass for your life.
Yeah. I'm going to go with the J. Cole, be you, be beautiful.
Yeah. I love it. What is one thing you wish you didn't own?
One thing I wish I didn't own.
Yeah. We all got some.
Yeah. I don't know. That's a good one. That I wish I didn't own.
Like, this shit is just sitting here. Like,
I'm sure I have tons of shit. Like, probably most of my shit. That I wish I didn't own. Nothing's like popping out.
Yeah.
Honestly, like nothing's like hitting me.
go ahead.
I say my PlayStation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just be watching movies off of it? Or what?
A little bit of it all. Sometimes it's good to like relax and kick back, but sometimes it can be a huge distractor.
Yes.
So,
what is your favorite meal?
My favorite meal, I'm just gonna stay steak and like asparagus.
man, any burger with barbecue or peanut butter on it. Yo.
Peanut butter?
Yeah, peanut butter burger.
Oh my God.
They're fire. They're fire.
What is your definition of success?
I think that's relative to each individual. Yes. So
how do you define it?
I define it as making sure that I'm providing value to all the people in my life and leveling them up and making them better each day, day in and out.
Beautiful. Tommy?
Yeah, that would be mine is seeing the next generation go further. Me being able to create those vessels to success.
Love it. And last question, did you enjoy your time on Blazin' the Trail podcast?
Loved it. It was awesome. Thanks for having me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any questions for us?
What are you guys, I mean, what's your goals? What's the goal for
Pretty
the podcast?
much kind of the same. It's just like create a legacy because as a first generation, a refugee, it's kind of like laying the path to show the kids that it's all possible, even with the little resources that we have. It's about being useful of the things that you've learned throughout this time and applying yourself. Because a lot of people do want to help. You just have to find those people. You have to create those relationships. Mm-hmm. And you actually have to want to do good for yourself. So on the flip side, it'll help a lot of other people following. So that's me.
I like that. No, that's one thing I'll say is like out of 100 people that come ask me for advice or ask me for something, and I'll tell them like what to do or what's next steps, one out of those 100 will actually do something.
Facts.
And that's just the reality of it. They all want it, but then when it comes to the reality, or as Gary Vee would say, it's work.
Yes.
Like you're gonna work. Yeah, you're not gonna sit on a beach and make $10,000. Like you're just,
no passive income.
right. Like it's just that's not the reality of the world. Be the one.
Exactly.
Be the one that takes the steps, does the work. And the only difference between, greatness is consistency.
Facts.
Consistently doing the right things day in and day out, and your life will change. You can have whatever you want. Like, there's no limits.
Love it. Jack, what about you? You want that? You want to talk about that?
Ask the question again.
No.
What are your goals? Where you're trying to go?
Oh, yeah.
You're still young.
Yeah, I just kind of want to finish. I'm getting, recently anyway, I've kind of figured out, or started to figure out what really makes me happy. And I like what you said, like, my dad says similar things, use what makes you happy as a compass to your life.
Mm-hmm.
So as I'm trying to figure that out and identify those things that I really want to, turn my time and attention into, I just want to take that step and start hitting the road, start putting some work in. So.
Yeah, it's huge.
What about you, Nelson? Turn the camera on yourself.
Yeah. I think my goals for myself, just to be able to do what makes me happy every single day.
Mm-hmm.
Not to try to go and do something for someone else and what makes them happy. Just being able to do what I want to do, and I feel like it'll give me more happiness to spread to other people.
Exactly.
And what do you want to do?
This.
Right now.
I love videos and
Media, for
pictures,
sure.
creating a lot of stuff.
It's a good time to be alive then.
Yes.
Yeah.
Content's king. So,
It's exciting stuff.
yeah.
That's why I had them on the team, man. Because I see the fire that they have, and they have a knack for it.
Yeah, and this is what every company's going to need.
Facts.
Every company on earth is going to need someone that can do those services, products, and then tell their story and understand the brand and the culture. And so the world's going to change real quick here.
Facts.
With that. So
You guys got anything to promote? Anything you guys got coming up?
I got a 3v3 tournament.
Coming when?
Last day of school. It's last day of
20th or
school. Yep, on the 20th, last day of school. I teamed up with Lincoln Police Department and
Once
a couple other organizations where we bring in a free event for the youth. We did badges for basketball once. Then we did bowling and laser tag.
Oh, yeah.
And then this one, we're going badges for basketball 2.0. We'll be at St. Mark's on the last day of school.
That's what's up. Okay. You didn't have anything?
no.
Well, where can people find you?
They can
to see
find
things
us.
that you're looking up.
Yep, they can follow me on tylerirons.com,
Yep,
which will
we'll
give
put
you
that up.
which will give you a link to all my social and kind of what I'm up to. You can follow VRLY, our company at getvrly.com. You can follow VRLY Storm at vrlystorm.com.
Yeah.
So,
Tommy, where can people find you?
Tommy _LNK _COG on
Yo.
Instagram.
Okay. So I would like to thank you guys for listening to Season 2, Episode 1 with Tyler Irons and Tommy Johnson. Remember to leave a review, subscribe to our channel, leave a comment on what you learned or a thing that you learned about our guest. So make sure to follow us at Blazin Trail Podcast on Instagram. Thank you guys for being my guests. If you guys have any ideas for any future guests, make sure to hit up Nelson or Jack or myself. COG out. So do not compare yourself or do not compare your journey to somebody else's. As you can see, we're all walking different paths. So just know that you're perfectly in progress. Just make it happen. So as always, start with yourself because you're the one. So make it happen.